this place, omnipotent Father of mercy and thou art welcome in this place. Yes. Thank the Lord. Appreciate that song. Appreciate the other songs that we had today. It's the Christmas season, and it's a good time. It's one of the best times of the year when you start Thanksgiving and then go on into Christmas and to the New Year's. These are things that we get accustomed to and used to, and we thank the Lord. We have much to be thankful for. Think about us living here in the United States. It's so much to be grateful for. We got a lot to complain about, and we do a lot of our complaining. I'm saying us in the general sense, but there's so much to be thankful for. If we just looked around and turned our eyes and stop focusing on what everybody else is focusing on and focus on what God has done for us, you can see that it's been a great blessing to be, number one, saved.
Yes.
And number two, to be born in America.
Yeah.
I personally think it's the best country in the world. I don't know why I'm starting on this. Best country in the world, and we have been to several countries, but I don't know. There's something special about here and something special about the freedoms that we have, and I thank the Lord for that. We're talking about Christmas, and I felt like the Lord gave me something. If I gave to share with you today, I'm going to give a title to this. It was, "What Shall I Give?" What shall I give? And I want to start by reading a scripture in Psalms, the 116th chapter and the 12th verse. It says, "What shall I render unto the Lord for all his benefits toward me?" So when I think about us giving and what we've done, one of the things that I've discovered about myself, I really don't like shopping unless it's at Home Depot or Lowe's, someplace like that. My wife will ask me, "Well, do you want to go shopping with me?" And it's like one of those questions, like, if you want me to. That's code for no, I don't want to go. Sometimes what she'll do, she'll leave me at home because she knows I'm going to be complaining all the way, trying to get back home as fast as I can. But if you take me to Home Depot, take me to Lowe's or HG Supply somewhere, I can stay in that store for quite a long time. I don't know why that is, but you don't take me shopping, don't take me to get shoes for myself even. I learned early, a few years ago, that I've got two ladies in my family, my immediate family. I won't call their names, but they like shopping. So what I do is I give them a shopping list. So I give them money or a credit card or something, go shop for. The only one I have to shop for is my wife. But I'll tell y'all a secret. It's an open secret. I don't shop for my wife. I give it to my daughter, and she shops for my wife. And so here's the reason I bring all these kinds of things out is because sometimes I don't know what to give. And sometimes we don't know what to give when we're talking about these kinds of situations. And well, you say, "What do you want for Christmas?" You all say that to people. What do you want? Well, children, I kind of see Christmas as something that the children do more. We try to be with our grandchildren, trying to make certain, what do you want for Christmas? And we had these lists. And I remember when I was a child, we had these Christmas lists, and I want a bicycle, I want this, I want that, I want that. And our parents would try to get us what they could. Yeah. But they got us what we wanted oftentimes. I don't want no pair of socks. I got those for when school started. A pair of jeans and a nice shirt. I got that when school started. No, I want something fun. I want something fun. I don't want that. Our grandson we called him the other day for his birthday. And we FaceTimed him, and we were showing him the new place that we were in, and he kept asking, "Where are the toys?" Because his grandmother we have a little ottoman that's full of toys. So when the children come over to our house, they can play. The adults are all talking, but the children want to do something. They don't want to sit up and listen to an adult conversation. And I'm getting to my message, and this is laying the groundwork. Trust me. And so it was in the little storage that we have, and so we kept saying, "Well, we'll get to that later." And no, he was insistent on it because he knew what he wanted to see. And then I want that. And then we went through the box. He was telling what he wanted. Now, had you thought about that the Lord has a desire, yes, for us to give something to him? Had you ever thought about that? Had you ever thought about the fact that the Lord is concerned about what you're giving him? And I thought about how many gifts that we give. There are various kinds of gifts. There are token gifts. We give things to people simply because it's a token gift. Oh, he's a co-worker. I don't really want to go through a whole lot of trouble. I'm just going to give him a token gift. Didn't cost very much. We go to the little aisle where they have all these things, and it's $5 or under, $10 under. We're not going to spend a lot of money, but we're going to give them a token gift. Do you know some of us do the Lord like that? It's a token gift. I'm going to go to church. I don't really feel like it today. You know, sometimes preachers don't feel like going to church, but we give him our all, right? And so it's not just a token. Well, I just checked that off my list, and it's something that I have a desire for. I want to give it to him because he says, forsake not the assembling of yourselves again. He said, all the things that I've given you and all during the week, you've asked me for everything. We asked the Lord for, do you realize, I want you to think about it, and I haven't counted up myself. Do you think about that every day we are asking God for something? Every day. Lord, bless me. Have mercy on me. Lord, give me this. Lord, give me that. And then when he asks us to do, we say, Lord, what do you want? What do you want from me in return? There is something that I've seen in my own experience, and I know we have all seen this in our experiences, that we feel like that when someone gives us something, we feel like there's an obligation for us to reciprocate, right? That there's this obligation that they've given me something. And if it's expensive, we feel like we should give it up to the level of what they gave at least, right? Or we try to outdo them a little bit. So if they gave us a $10 gift, well, a $7, $8, $11, $12 gift is going to be sufficient for that because we're reciprocating what they gave to us, right? But yet, if they gave us a gift that was terribly expensive and we have the means by which to give it back, give something that's to that level, maybe $100, $200, $300, we try to do the same thing. It's just something about human nature. Am I correct in that? Most of us try to do that. We try to rise to the occasion. Now, if they gave me a Mercedes-Benz, I'm sorry, I can't give you one, okay? If they gave me something that was terribly expensive, a nice mansion up on the hill, I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to get you one because I can't afford it. I'm going to get right to a really nice, long, thank you for that, and I'm going to give you something else that I can give. I'm going to share with you whatever it is that I need deep down, that I have deep down in my heart. Well, let me tell you this. The Lord gave us something that's far beyond anything that we can give him back. Yeah. Far beyond. Yeah. There's this mansion up on a hill, and no matter what I do up in heaven, there's a mansion. He's going to prepare a place for me, and if he goes to prepare a place for me, where he's going to come back to receive me, right? So he's given that for me. That's there. It's packaged up. It's got the bow on it, and it's got my name on it, right? There's a crown that's there that he's already preparing for me, right? Now, what can I give him in exchange for that? What can I give? What will rise to the occasion? I have nothing on earth that will rise to the occasion, and the best thing that I have is not my little trinkets, not my little bank account, because it ain't much money in there, right? Not my whatever, but I can give him myself. I can give him me, right? That's the best that I can do. I can give him my love. I'm telling you, I love him. I can give him my thanks. I can praise him. I can do that, Lord. Are we doing that? Now, let me read another scripture. Revelations 4, verse 10. If you have it, read it for us. Revelations 4, verse 10. I'll start it. And it says, the 24 elders fell down before him that sat on the throne and worshiped him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, thou art worthy, O Lord. So that means if I gave him everything that I have, everything that I have, is he worthy of it? Is he worthy of it? All right. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. Now I want us to get a hold of that. He said, you created everything. The Lord created you. The Lord created everything that you use. The wood, the chairs that we're sitting on, the wood on the pews, all that, the Lord created it. Now we have the ability to craft it and put it together in a nice way, but God created it. And they are all for his pleasure. We were created for his pleasure. Everything, all things were created for the Lord's pleasures, for him. Enjoy it. So is the Lord enjoying your life? Is he pleased with what he created? Is he looking at this and saying, well done? thou good and faithful servant. This is my beloved son. This is my beloved daughter in whom I'm well pleased. Is the Lord saying that to you? All right. So he says, all now, in addition to that, what do you get the person that has everything? If it's a billionaire, and there is, he can buy anything that he wants. You know, they're buying these trips to space, several $1 million. I'm not interested in going to space. When I leave this earth, I'm going to heaven. I don't want to go to the moon. I don't want to go to Mars. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to go home. I'm one of those individuals that like going home. This home. I tell people, I say, you know what? The best part of any vacation, and this is true, and I know it's a pitiful shame, but it's the truth. The best part of any vacation is when I'm packing up, getting ready to go home. I enjoy when I go. I enjoy while I'm there, but I'm ready to go home. And let me tell you, I'm packing up and I'm getting ready to go home. I want to make certain that I'm ready. I pray this prayer all the time. Lord, I want to be ready when you come to get me. I want to be ready because there's a gift up there. There's my treasures are up there. Everything that you've given me is up there. That's where my heart is. That's where my mind is. I want to go to heaven one day. I'm ready to go, but I'm not ready to go, if you understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of work to be done right here in Sacramento, right here on the earth. And if I don't do it, who's going to do it? You know what? I see that there are so fewer people that are giving their all to the Lord today than when it was when I started out 30-something years ago. There are fewer people. And then there are some people that have fallen by the wayside. And they once were really diligent in giving God their all, everything that themselves. And now they want a little bit to themselves. You know, I started out that way. Let's just be honest with it. I started out that way, and I decided at an early age I didn't want to give the Lord my all. I wanted something for myself. I wanted to be this or that or the other, and I started out that way, and then the Lord tapped me on the shoulder. He said, I've got some things for you that I want you to do, and then he began to show me how much he loved me and what he's done for me and how faithful he's been to me. Then he broke my heart. I began to cry, and I began to say, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, I'll do it. I'll try it. And I tried it, and I've been trying it ever since. And it's the most satisfying thing I've ever done is giving everything that I have to the Lord. Lord, what I have is yours. That's right. And you know what? If you say that, Lord, what I have is yours, it's not just a token gift. It's not just leftover. Y'all remember Tupperware? It'd be nice to get a nice thing of Tupperware. Do they still make Tupperware? Yeah. All right. It'd be nice to get that, to put the little leftovers in the refrigerator and carry things everywhere. But it would be nice to get it as a gift. Would you'd appreciate it as a gift, because we're always cooking a little bit too much and have a little bit left over where we go, right? But what if I gave it to you as a gift, right? Somebody gave it to you as a gift. That's wonderful, is to put your leftovers in. But what if what we did, think about this for a moment. What if what we did is we took the Tupperware and that we've used all year long, we use it the way we wanted to use it, and we put our leftover, my neighbor made some delicious potato soup, offered me some yesterday. It was some of the best I've ever tasted, if not the best. So we put it in there, and then I gave that to you as a gift. How would you feel about that? Dry. Okay, so, but it was good soup, but it's left over. Here's why I say that. I say that because our lives, we could do all we want to do all of our lives, and then what's left over, we give to the Lord. So we put it in a nice little Tupperware container. Well, I'm just, Lord, here it is. It was good to me while it lasted. Now here's a little bit left over. I'm giving it to you. That's a gift that you give to the Lord. How would you want to do that? What would you accept it if I get? And what do? We put it in the refrigerator, and then we flip it open after it's been there for 2 or 3 weeks, and we smell it to see if it's still any good. Oh, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? We smell it to see if it's still any good, because we don't want to get sick over it, right? Remember when they have these? This is the time that they have these food drives, right? And some can of split peas that you ain't used for have you ever looked at the stuff you have in your cabinet? Now maybe y'all are a little different than us. No. And we look at it and we haven't gotten that. We don't feel like that. We put it all back and you start looking at it and it's expired. Yeah. So they're having this food drive down here at wherever, So what do? We take that expired and we get, now I don't do this. And I know you don't do it. And if you do, don't. Okay? But you give them what's left over. Do you know we do the Lord the same way? That we give the Lord what's expired. It's not very good, but it's still there. And Lord, and we dare you not to be satisfied with what I've given you. Lord, help us. But Lord said, I've given you everything. I've given you myself. I've given you me. And all I'm asking is that you do the same. So we have that. And then sometimes we have these token gifts, and then we have the gifts out of duty. I've got to get so-and-so a little gift. I got to get him something. Right? Check that off my list. Have you ever done any gag gifts? Sure. Exchange? White elephant. Yeah, and it's just supposed something that nobody can use, nobody can want, and it's just, but you're gonna give it to them anyway. Why? Because it's the thought that counts. It's the thought. I didn't give you something, so you can't say that I didn't give. I know it's a little funny, ha ha ha. But again, what we're talking about, what shall I render the Lord? We do that to people. Do you suppose that if we do that to people, then there is a temptation, and we don't understand it? We don't. I don't know that it's conscious. I don't know that anything that I'm saying about what we give to the Lord is leftovers or out of duty or as a token or as a gag gift. I don't believe it's conscious, but sometimes I believe the Lord looks at it and he opens it up and he starts laughing, not because, have you ever laughed to keep from crying? He said, all this that I've given you, and this is what you give me in return, a gag gift. I don't want this. And he throws it back at you. What if somebody did that? Lord help us. Okay. Yeah. And then we have the costly gifts where he says all these things were given to the Lord. All the Lord has everything, and everything was made for his pleasure. And then we have where someone can give us a costly gift. Can you imagine a gift that's greater than what the Lord has given us? No. His blood. He gave his life for me. Thank you, Lord. For me. I believe that if you were the only person in the world that would have yielded to the Lord, he still would have done it. Yes. Because he could see both sides of eternity. He could see this little ball of earth that's called time, where there's this time is there. And he said that there are some people, there's some little creation that I've created for my pleasure. I love them. And I want them to have the best, and I'm going to give them the best. And sometimes the Lord takes us through difficult problems and difficult situations to prove to us that he's still with us. Yes, he does. I thought about it like this, that if you had it easy all the time, there would be a lack of appreciation for the summer. This brother was talking about the rain, right? Well, about June or July, we were wanting the rain. And one thing I've noticed about Sacramento, which is quite different from where I came from, is that it stops raining at the end of March, and it doesn't rain again until the end of November. So from March to November, there's no rain. I understand why there's these wildfires and everything. Everything is dry. And back in the Midwest, you get this rain all during the summer, all during the fall and all that, but you don't do that here, right? And so what we look at, and we have this rain, and the reason, Brother Isaac, the reason you can be appreciative of the rain is because you remember what the summer was like, right? And the reason you can be appreciative of the summer is you remember what it was like when it was rain and it was cold. Yesterday was one of those days that was so difficult. It's one of those days that you don't want to go out and work in. It's one of those days, it's cold and it's wet and it's raining. I was talking to my wife, I said, this is a wonderful time to stay all curled up by the fireplace with a cup of hot chocolate, apple cider, or something that was nice and warm, and just look at what's going on outside and be very grateful and thankful that you have a roof over your head and a furnace that keeps your house warm. Oh, mine may not be as nice as yours, and that's okay. But I've got one. And it's something that God gave me. And it's something that God gave me the ability to be able to do, to be able to go and get those things. He's the one that did it. He's the one that put some sense between these two ears. Yeah. That's right. Do you ever thank the Lord for having common sense? Do you ever thank the Lord that you have the ability to do the things that you're able to do, and the things that you're able to do, God is the one that made you do. He gave you that. Now, what am I going to give him in return? I'm going to give it back to him. If God has me, he has everything that I own. I've seen that. And that's been the mantra of my life. Lord, if you have me, you have my money, you have my time, you have everything that there is about me. You have. But let me tell you, what some of us are doing, Lord, you can have me, but you can't have this part of me. Lord, help us.
Yes, that's true.
I'm gonna do my duty. I did what I was supposed to do. I cooked, I cleaned, I did all of these kind of things. But let me tell you what a husband, he doesn't want a wife that's gonna just cook and clean and do all of the things and give him all those gifts out of duty. He wants a woman that's gonna love him. And as a result of that love, she does those things, right? And the same thing with the husband, with a wife that has a husband. What does she want? Well, I brought the money, I brought this, but he has no love. Doesn't show her any affection, doesn't show her any love. All the things that he's doing it strictly out of duty. I did it because this is what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go to work every day. You ought to be thankful for that. No, I want a little bit more. I want you to love me. I don't want you to be distant from me. I don't want you to withdraw from me. And I'm in a desert. I don't have any love. Do you know people are like that?
That's right.
Horrible way to have a marriage. Horrible place to live. And I know maybe some of you have been in those kinds of places, but let me tell you, let's don't do Jesus like that. He's a married. He's our bridegroom. He don't want just the things. I went to church this morning. I got up and I read my devotion. I said a prayer at the end of the day, but he wants you to love him, a gift of love. I want you to love me. I want you to love me. And you know what? That's all anybody wants. You know what? To get a billionaire, you show him some love. Everybody responds to love. Yeah. Even old Scrooge responds to it. He may pretend that he doesn't, but if you told him, you look nice, I like that glass, I like the way that beard comes down, or something, and Scrooge doesn't give you a big old hug, and you go and wrap your arms around him, he says, humbug, or whatever he says, right? Let me tell you, you say that enough times, he's going to respond to it. He's going to respond to it, because let me tell you what you can't do. You can't fight love. Love is something that's the most powerful thing in this universe. Why? Because God is love.
Yes.
Right. Most powerful thing in the universe. So what do we want? What do I give you, Lord? I give you my love. I give you my time. I give you everything. You just tell me what you want. There's sometimes I've been in these kinds of places. My own experience has been that the Lord tells you that okay, Daryl, it's time to go a little deeper. This is a good place for you to be, but it's time to go a little deeper. You know, what if, I remember this was almost 40 years ago when I got married. You know how much money I was making? An hour? $5 an hour.
Less.
Less. So that, by those standards, was still a very low amount of money. And I remember when we were getting ready to get married, I have stars and butterflies and all this kind of thing. I figured I'm gonna be able to take care of this wife in some kind of way. I'll figure it all out. I heard somebody say something about me. How do you expect to make ends meet on that much money? What if I was still saying, hey, you ought to be satisfied? They don't even have, what's the minimum wage now? $20? I go to, huh? 15? Okay. What if I said to my wife, you know what? I'm going to work every day and I'm making $5 an hour. Today. Well, you should be satisfied that I'm making money. You should be satisfied that if you went and got a better job in another location. Well, I don't like interviews. I personally don't like going to interviews. That was one of the reasons I wanted to work for myself. I don't like going and being under the pressure. So I said, I'm going to find a way to do it. And really what I found out about being in business for yourself is under pressure all the time. It'd be a little better just sometime to go and just get a job and you make an X amount of money and you're bringing it home and you know how to manage it and all this kind of thing. But that's just not how I was cut out. But what if I just said that I'm still giving you the same thing that I gave you 40 years ago? I'm still, the expectation hasn't risen. There's no greater amount that I'm giving. You know, I had to learn. if I made $5 an hour, I wouldn't be able to do anything.
I guess.
Wouldn't even be able to buy a gallon. Well, here in California, you're barely able to buy a gallon of gas. Now you're able to. Last week you weren't able to.
That's right.
So here's the point. The point that I want to make. I loved her. A man loves his wife enough to say, okay, whatever it takes for you to get out of your comfort zone and go and make a living for this particular person that you love, and you have little children that are coming on that you're responsible for. If that means you have to get two jobs, then you go and get 2 jobs, because you got to give something to them because you love them. It's not because it's just a duty that I have to do. I love them. I want them to have the best. And so what I did is I had to find a way to make it happen. Whatever it took, make it happen. And let me tell you what the Lord wants. The Lord does not want you to still give him the same thing that you gave him 40 years ago. He's expecting more. There has to be an increase. He said you can have more of him. And now what does he want? More of you. So when he asks for more of you, don't push him away and say, Lord, I've given you what is necessary. I've done my duty. I've given you my little gift. I've given you my leftovers. I've given you my gag gift. I've given you the reciprocal gift that I feel like is necessary. No, the Lord he doesn't care how much it costs. He wants your love. He wants you. And if he's got you, he's got everything else. Yeah, this is my philosophy. If you want to know what my philosophy is, this is my philosophy. If the Lord has me, he has my house, he has my car, he has my bank account, he has everything, he has my time. He tells me where to go. He tells me what to do. Why? Because I'm trying to give back to him what he's given to me. And I'll never do it. I'll be an unprofitable servant all my life. But let me tell you, I'm going to do my best to bring that, to bring the balance down. I continue to bring it down every day. I'll never meet it. So Lord, you've given me all these wonderful things. I appreciate that so very much. I love you, Lord. Do you ever tell him that? Yeah. Well, I told you I loved you when I got married to you. I don't need to tell you I love you again. How would that work? That wouldn't work well. You want to hear that? There's something about those 3 little words, I love you. There's something about it we say to our children, and that helps them in their development of emotions. If you withhold that, there's something that just missing. Yes. And your spouse, just people want to hear. You don't mind me saying I love this congregation. I love every one of you. I do. And this is why I give myself to you. I give myself to you because I love you. But let me tell you what I love more than you. I love the Lord. And there are some things that I do that I don't enjoy doing. I won't tell you about them. There are some things that I don't enjoy doing, and I know I do them out of duty, but I tell the Lord sometimes, I say, Lord, I do these things because I know that where I find my love is I know you're pleased with it. Yeah. So I get satisfied. I get satisfied when the Lord pats me on the hand or pats me on the back and say, well done. This is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. We all like commendation, don't we? We all want to hear. Remember when we were children? Big boy, big girl. Remember that? We say that to our children now. Do you know what that's what the Lord is saying? The commendation. That's my son. I'm proud of him. I'm well pleased in what he's doing. And do you know what? When he's saying it to Jesus, this is what God said to Jesus. Do you know Jesus hadn't done anything? He had not started his ministry. What I mean by that, he had not started his ministry at all. He was going down there to be baptized by John the Baptist. He went down and he came back up, and the Lord said, this is my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. You hear him. I'm well pleased. Now, for 30 years or so, he was well pleased with everything that Jesus did. Everything that Jesus did. Can he say that to you? That's my daughter. I love her. Whom I'm well pleased. I'm well pleased with what she's doing. I'm well pleased with how she's living her life. What can I give you, Lord? What can I give the God that has everything? What is the best thing that I have? The only thing that I have of great benefit is me. Let me tell you something else. You know, the only thing that is truly mine is my will. The only thing that's truly yours is your will. You can give your will to him, not my will, Jesus said, but let thy will be done. I'm giving it to you, Lord. I'm giving you my will. I have the will. I can be obedient to you, or I can be disobedient. I can go in the direction that you want me to go, and I can go in the direction that I want to go. And he said, Lord, I love you. and I give you my will. That's the one thing that I have.
That's right.
Lord, help us. All right. Okay. So the gift of love. Till I come, and let's go to 1 Timothy 4, verse 13. It says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on the hands of the presbytery. He's talking, Paul is talking here to Timothy. He says, neglect not the gift that is in thee. Do you know every one of us have a gift that God has given us?
Yeah.
It's not because, oh, I'm so smart, that's why I am able to do such and such. You know, I learned a long time that the way for you to destroy your life is to think that you're all that. And people, everything that you have, we preached about this some time ago. What do you have that wasn't given to you? What do you have that wasn't given to you? What do you have that God didn't give to you? Right? All right, nothing. Sister says nothing. All right? It says, neglect not the gift that is in thee. What Jesus gave to you, which was given thee by presbytery, with the laying on the prophecy, with the laying on the hand of the presbytery. You have a gift. Have you given that gift to the Lord? I mentioned some time ago, let's say there are some exceptional singers, and I can say that they're out in the world and whatnot, and they're exceptional singers, and they're making millions, and I was billions of dollars. There's some people that are producers and all these people that make all kinds of money, but they're not doing it for the Lord.
No.
Where did they get the gift from? They got the gift from the Lord. But if you're making billions and billions of dollars singing from a gift that God gave you, do you realize that you're embezzling God's gift? It's embezzlement. It's taking something that God intended that was created for his pleasure. It was created for his pleasure. All things were created. Not everybody in here has a beautiful voice. Not everybody. Some of us can hold a tune. There are others that are much higher. Appreciate the specials that we had today. These are individuals that are a little higher than what I am, or the rest of us, right? But let me tell you, you use that voice for the Lord.
Yes.
If you don't use that voice for the Lord, you're embezzling what belongs to him. You're taking what belongs to him for your benefit. You're putting it in your pocket. You're benefiting from it, but it ain't yours. It was given to you. It was given to you, the talents.
Yes.
It was given to you. Lord, help us.
Yeah.
Are y'all with me?
Yeah.
All right. It doesn't matter what it is. You got smarts. Are you using it for the Lord? You got whatever ability that you have. Are you using it for the Lord? If you're not using it for the Lord, then you're going to have to give an account of that at some point. Lord, help us. So here's what I'm saying. Let me say the safe way that I've seen it. The safe way to do it is everything that we have, give it back to him.
Yes. First fruits.
First fruits, not what's left over. It's completely different from what's left over. Lord, I'm gonna see whatever's left over, then I'll give that to you. But I'm gonna have the first part of it. No, that's not how we do it. Till I come, give attendance to reading, exhortation, to doctrine, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. It says here, meditate on these things. Do what? Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. The Lord wants you to eliminate the distraction and give yourself wholly to him.
Yes.
Whatever it is that the Lord wants you to do, give yourself wholly to it. I want to go a little further. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them. For by doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. There's a whole lot into this passage of scripture, something that the Lord gave me. Maybe I'll have an opportunity to share with you at a later date. But these particular scriptures mean so much to me, because when the Lord called me to the ministry, this is what he told me. This is part of what he gave me. He said, I want you to give yourself wholly to what I give you. And that way people can, your profiting may appear. You're the one I'm the one that's profiting from it. I'm the one that's got the profit. I'm the one that's better off when I've invested my time for the Lord. I'll get the profit for it. He said, but everybody else will see it as well. It's for my profit first, and it's for everybody else's profit. So when you dig down and you give the Lord the love, the gift of love, and whatever it is that the Lord is requiring of you, not only do you benefit from it, but the world benefits from it. You believe that?
Yes. Amen.
May the Lord help us. All right, I'm going to go a little further. We're going back to Psalms 116 for closing. 12. 12.
Says, what shall I render unto the Lord?
What shall I render unto the Lord for all his benefits toward me? Now, this is a question that he's asking. The psalmist is asking, what shall I render unto the Lord for all his benefits toward me? He acknowledges that the Lord has given him so much. We've acknowledged that the Lord's given us so much. We acknowledge the fact that we don't see everybody fighting to come. We're Americans, and there's something to be thankful for, right? All right. We are not at war like the folks in Ukraine. We're not at war. We're not, thankfully. I don't know if we'll ever come to that, but we're not there now. We should thank the Lord for it, right? All right. What shall I render the Lord for all his benefits to me? I have so much to be thankful for. All right. I'm going to tell you what I'll do. This is what I'm going to give him. I'll take the cup of salvation. All right. So I'm going to give my heart to the Lord. I'm going to get saved. I'm going to call upon the Lord. And I'm going to give my heart. That's the one thing that I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to give him. I'm going to give him, I'll take up the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord. All right.
I will pay my vows.
I promise. How many times have we promised the Lord what we're going to do something and we didn't follow through with him? What he's saying to us, he said, I'm going to give my vows to the Lord. I'm going to pay my vows unto the Lord.
Now in the presence of all.
Now in the presence of all his people.
Precious in the sight.
It's not just going to be something that I do on the outside and that's just between me and God. It's going to be in the presence of all his people. I am going to pay my vows. If I promised the Lord I was going to do something, I'm going to do it. All right.
Precious in the sight of the Lord.
Yes.
Is the death.
Is the death of his saints.
O Lord.
Oh Lord.
Truly.
I
am thy servant.
I am thy servant. So I'm going to. I am thy servant. What did he say? Truly, I am thy servant. I am thy servant. Now, do you see that's emphatic? He's emphasizing that. I'm your servant. I'm your servant, Lord. I want you to understand that I'm going to serve you all the days of my life. Let me tell you, he's the kind of master, the Lord of the house that is the one. He gives you everything. Everything in the house belongs to you. You can have whatever you ask for. You can have it. Well, you know what? I'm not a slave. I'm a servant. I do it because I want to do it. And so I come to him and I ask him, Lord, oh, that's so beautiful. Can I have it? He said, yeah, you can have it. And then you point out something else. Can I have that, Lord? A little bit more grace, a little bit more love, a little bit more kindness. All these things are in your storehouse. I can get whatever I want as much as I want. Isn't that wonderful? He's going to give us everything. He's going to give us everything. And so he says, where
I am thy servant.
I am thy servant. I am thy servant. And the son of thine handmaid. My mother was thy servant. And thou hast loosed my bonds. You delivered me. Isn't that wonderful? The Lord has delivered. One of the best things, I've said this all the time. You'll hear me say it. You've heard me say it before. You'll hear me say it again. One of the best things about salvation is the ability to say no to the devil. That is wonderful. You know how much power it is? I remember when I wasn't saved. And a long time ago, when I wasn't saved, I would promise there are certain things that we didn't want to do. Remember those times? I didn't want to do that anymore. And every time I'm not going to do it I had a good wheel and I didn't do it for 2 weeks. And then there's a song. Oops. I did it again.
Yeah.
I heard about that. I ain't never listening to it, but I heard about it. I did it again. But let me tell you, the Lord delivered me from that. Isn't that wonderful? That's the best, one of the best things. I know there's a whole bunch of good stuff, but that's one of the best things. I don't have to say, oh, I'm sorry, I did it again. I don't have to do that. I don't have to come apologizing over and over and over for losing my temper to my wife and saying to her, oh, I'm sorry, I won't hit you again. I won't give you another black eye. I've never done that. And you know I haven't. But I don't have to do that. Why? Because God, I didn't have to be delivered from that. I had to be delivered from other stuff. I had to be delivered from me. I'm my worst enemy. Oh, I'm sorry. I told another lie. I did. I'm sorry. I got caught. No, I don't have to do that. Isn't that wonderful? I can say no to the devil.
Yes, praise the Lord.
All right, read.
I will offer to thee
the
sacrifice of
and I'm going to
thanksgiving.
say thank you for what you did. Have you ever told the Lord how much you thank him for what he's doing for you? Offer the sacrifice of thanksgiving and call upon thy name.
the name of the Lord.
Yes,
I will pay my vows
vows.
to the Lord now in the presence of all.
Do you see how he's repeating himself?
In the courts of the Lord's
in the courts
house,
of the Lord's house, in the midst of the old Jerusalem.
Praise,
Praise
the Lord.
ye the Lord. I'm going to praise him. All right, what shall I give? What shall I give to the one that has everything? I'm going to give my all, myself, my love, my praise, my thanksgiving.
Yes,
Pray for me.
amen.
Let us stand. Let's have a song. Maybe someone in there needs to pray. This is a good opportunity. Force 36. 436.
My blessed Lord, I will be thine. Thy God has made me free. Thy precious word and love belong. Has won my heart to thee. Oh Lord, low at thy feet, I give my all to thee. Oh, fill me now with joy complete. Forever keep me free. Oh, let the waves of heavenly light forever be shine. Oh, let thy praise in my delight and keep me wholly thine. Oh, Lord, at thy feet I give my all to thee. Oh, fill me now with joy complete. Forever keep me free. Thy grace and shield, yes, Lord, shall ever be object of my heart. Thy presence, soul, how sweet to me, shall never from me part. Oh, at thy freedom, with joy complete, forever keep me my blessed Lord, I will be Thy blood has made me free, Thy precious blood and love divine has won my heart to thee. Lord, I know at thy feet I give my all to thee.
Yes, Lord.
Oh, fill me now with joy complete, forever keep me free.
I want to thank the Lord for being here this morning. You know, I thought about, this is what drives me. All the things God did to me. You know, I told you that, you all know I am a combat vet. And I made God a vow. You know, when you get about to lose your life, you make God some promises.
Yes.
And I thought about how he blessed and brought me back here. That's what keeps me driving me. I said, God, I made you a vow.
Yes.
I still cling to that vow that I made to him.
Yes.
This time, Brother Daryl, being a pastor is not a glorious place to be in. Everybody don't treat you like you treat them. But you know what? The vow that I made to God, that's what kept me going.
Yes.
Not to the people.
Yes.
That's right.
The vow was made to him because of what he did for me.
Yes.
And right now, at the age of 91, and he gave me health and strength.
Thank the Lord.
My vow is strong now as it was when I made it back then.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what drives me. I said, Lord, the strength, I am still, it's called flabbergasted at my level of energy that I have. I don't understand it.
Amen.
But I want to use that. God is, he's always first.
Yes.
Been that way ever since I've been saved.
Praise God. Thank
And he has not made, I haven't been hungry. Got a roof on and the rain yesterday, I was up, same thing.
Yeah.
Because I've been a time I was on hills and the rain and cold wind blowing up on the hills in Korea.
Yeah.
And he spared me from that.
you. Thank
Yes.
the Lord.
Thank
I
the
am
Lord.
highly blessed.
Yes. Thank the Lord.
And when y'all ask me to do these little things, I am delighted to do them.
Yes.
Because I'm doing everything as unto God.
Yes.
Because of what he did for me. The song we say, I ought to live my Savior.
Yes.
I ain't got no choice in it.
Yes. Yes.
And I find joy. Every time I do something for God, he put me in a place, even with Jim.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yes. Thank the Lord.
That's what I'm there for.
Yes.
Yes.
And I look forward to life. I tell people again, old age has not been a burden to me.
Thank the Lord.
It's a blessing.
Yes.
And I think about some people try to let their life be ruled by fear. I am not fear.
Thank the Lord.
God don't give me a spirit of fear. I heard something beautiful this morning, even on the radio about that. And I said, man, this is awesome.
Yes.
And he said, I can bear fruit in my old age.
Yes. Thank the Lord.
It's wonderful.
I enjoy life. To me is beautiful.
Yes.
I got a heaven to go to heaven in.
Yes. Thank
That's
you,
what I
Lord.
feel.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
I appreciate life. I appreciate God giving me some people to worship with.
Yes.
Like me.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
I'll shut up.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank the Lord. Brother Darrell was talking about the gifts that God gives his
Yes.
that we have to give back